Cuando nosotros colocamos la mirada en la tierra, veíamos muchos problemas a nuestro alrededor, problemas que casi no se pueden solucionar. Es imposible solucionarlo sin Dios. Es imposible que los muros caigan sin Dios. Tenemos un ejemplo en el Antiguo Testamento cuando el hombre de Dios anduvo con el pueblo de Israel y rodearon los muros de Jericó y cayeron esos muros gigantes y tomaron la ciudad. Pero fue el poder de Dios el que derrumbó esos muros. En este tiempo los muros son gigantes y nosotros por nuestra propia fuerza no podemos hacer nada. Pero el poder de Dios es grande y derriba los muros. El poder de Dios es grande, transforma la vida de los seres humanos. El poder de Dios es grande, pero necesitamos creer en nuestro corazón.
I saw that the people that you elect in public office are the people that make decisions regarding to your education, to your health, to all the opportunities of your communities, of what they're actually eligible for, but at the same time, what they can be, what they can be eligible for in the future in regards to any kind of government help or any kind of opportunities, college opportunities. There's just so much. And I believe that it's our responsibility to educate our communities, let them know that a lot of these politicians that we're electing or not electing by not voting are hurting our lives. So we are trying to educate our community and show them that elections are important. Your vote does matter, specifically in local elections where sometimes elections are won by a handful of votes. And specifically here in Springdale, where we have such a big immigrant, undocumented population that needs better representation. And the only way that we're going to do that is by having more people register and show up to vote. We know that a lot of people sometimes feel intimidated of going to the county office and registering to vote there, so we bring voter registration drives to the community, and that's one of the last ones that we're doing this year, is this event here, where we came to the Springdale Public Library and told the community members, hey, we're bringing the opportunity for you to register to vote in your own community, in your own city, making it as easy as possible so that you can register to vote and that you show up to the elections this November.
So we have to make sure that we tell our family members, we tell our friends, hey, you know, the polls are open tomorrow. They're open till 6 p.m. They're open even on Saturdays on some locations, and you can still go to vote. There's no excuses. We have to start from the ground up, and that's how eventually we're going to build to be a stronger community where we don't let bullies like Donald Trump and other people like Leslie Rutledge or Steve Womack tear us down. And that's one of the biggest problems that we have, is that sometimes we don't unite. We wait until we've been hurt. We wait until they deport some family members of ours, and then that's when we care. Right now, we're at a point where we can still fight back and defend our families and defend our friends. So I ask your support to please, if you know someone, and we do, tell them to vote tomorrow. Tell them to vote on Saturday. Tell them to vote before November 6th, because we don't want to wait till the last minute, and we're not going to let these bullies beat us. We're going to stand up as a community and say, you know what? We fight back. We fight back around here in Arkansas. We don't let anybody step on us. We don't let people take advantage of us, and we defend our immigrant community here in Arkansas. Thank you.
Well, we're out here. It's Thursday, the first Thursday of early voting, and we're going to people's neighborhoods, giving them this little plan for Megan for Arkansas. It gives you the times of the polling locations, when they'll be open, the locations of where you can go. It also illustrates how you're gonna get there. Like, do you need a ride? You're gonna go on your bike? You're gonna go walking? And also, it mentions if you want to take a friend, a family member. Even though it's raining outside and it's not the best weather, but we kind of have an obligation to ourselves and to our families and communities to be out here to try to push for people to show up and vote.
I started really getting interest in politics when I graduated from high school in 2010. And the reason being is that I knew that through politics, you can change people's lives or you can make it worse. And I knew that a lot of the people that were in office in Arkansas were making my life worse, were making the lives worse of people that I love, my best friends who are undocumented. And that's what really motivated me to get involved.
La importancia de lo que viene siendo ejercer el voto, traernos estas fechas tan importantes como lo es este martes, personas que pueden votar y no se han registrado para votar, pueden venir aquí al Springdale Civic Center. Si tienen cualquier pregunta, 479-751-2957 es el número en cabina, o se pueden comunicar contigo.
I honestly think that we have an advantage to at least try to communicate to communities that sometimes politicians don't reach out to or don't care enough about. So that's our responsibility, to empower these people and to show them that they can be part of the political process. Not every kind of change is done through politics. There's a lot of activism that does change the world as well, but we want to be able to change the world from an activism standpoint, but at the same time from a public office standpoint. So that's why it's important for us to continue educating our communities in this subject.
So we've been going around Springdale, not registering, but knocking on people's doors and telling them that the elections are coming up, October 22nd to November 6th, and we want them to go out to vote. So these are people that have already registered, and we're asking them specifically to vote for Megan for Arkansas, who's the Democratic candidate that's running for state representative here in Springdale. And she supports the undocumented community, she supports the immigrant community, and that's why I'm here spending my Saturday morning trying to help out her, because I know she'll help out our community. For the most part, I would say possibly close to 95% of the houses that you knock and that people open, people just tend to be happy and willing to talk to you. There's always dogs though, but there's always a little dog that's growling at you when you're knocking on the door.
Las elecciones tienen consecuencias. Y en 2016 hay 27 millones de latinos que pueden votar, que están registrados en los Estados Unidos. 13.9 salieron a votar. Y lo vuelvo a repetir, elecciones tienen consecuencias. Esos números son pésimos, son sumamente bajos. Y desafortunadamente una persona como Donald Trump ahora está en la Casa Blanca. Y desafortunadamente ahora se ven estas consecuencias. Este cargo público puede afectar a millones de familias latinas. Hay 13.3 millones de personas en los Estados Unidos que son residentes permanentes legales. Este cargo público puede afectarle muchísimo a estas personas.
Especially as immigrants, whenever we're out canvassing for other candidates, they look at us and say, you know, like, I should probably support this candidate because if he's out here canvassing for him or her, then this person must be someone of respect, you know, someone that they could support and vote for. And people are just happy that you're showing up and that you're talking to them and that you want them to be involved in the political process. For the first time ever in our state's history, and we had an event where we educated candidates on immigrant issues. And I was really proud of that. We had a great team of people that came together to create that event. It was called Immigration Conversations with Arkansas Candidates. And we talked to candidates from all political parties regarding immigration for the Latinx community. We talked about Muslim issues as well, people with TPS. We also had we had a section for the Marshallese community as well. So we were able to, as immigrants, come together, host an event where we were able to educate the political candidates on issues affecting us. And that hardly ever happens. Usually whenever there's an event, it's the politician telling you what they're going to do for you or how they're going to support you. But this time they came to our event and they listened. You know, they listened to our issues, and in the long run, not only did it educate them and know how to properly fight for our immigrant communities, but it also gave them talking points. And it was a great time for the immigrant community to say, you know what, we are creating our own platform. We want to talk to you about our issues the way that we want to, and this is how we want you to represent us and to be, in a way, our voice.
Not voting has consequences. The current Arkansas Democratic Party platform is the most inclusive it has ever been in history. And that's because of people like you. You decided that being an ally wasn't enough, and it was time to be an accomplice. All the communities I mentioned today are relying on your vote. We must elect compassionate people into public office, and this year we are stacked with compassionate people in the Democratic ticket. Early voting begins tomorrow. We're less than 15 days away from Election Day, November 6th. Help knock doors for candidates, help make calls, help drive people to polling locations, help translate at polling locations, and most importantly, show up to vote. Take care of your mental health. We can change the state for the good. We can do it. Yes, we can. Sí se puede.
I'm Mayra Esquivel, and I'm out here accompanying my husband, Irvin, who happens to be a U.S. citizen, and he gets to vote. I don't get to vote yet because of a broken immigration system, but we are in the middle of a process to where hopefully I will be able to vote in the elections of 2020. The immigration system is absolutely broken, and I've gotten to see that firsthand with the job and the work that I do, and that is helping people fill out applications, fill out the paperwork to try to get a chance and an opportunity to stay here in the country.
Y ahora, pero podemos cambiar la narrativa, podemos cambiar la dirección de nuestro estado, de nuestra comunidad y de nuestro país. Y en el 2018 realmente podemos hacer un paso positivo hacia el futuro de nosotros mismos y de nuestros hijos o hijas o primos o primas. Y luego repetir, si puedes votar, genial. Sal por favor antes del 6 de noviembre o el 6 de noviembre. Si no puedes votar, está bien, yo no puedo votar, pero te estoy tocando puertas. Aparte que es mi trabajo y me pagan, pero si no me hubieran pagado también lo hubiera hecho.
And so many of our family members can't vote, you know, so the fact that we show up, whether it's being just a handful of us, we're representing not only our family members but our friends who don't have the ability of being able to vote yet, or unfortunately a lot of our friends who probably will never be able to vote unless we fix this broken immigration system. So it's important for us to show up and amplify their voice, not be their voice because they have their own voice, but to amplify their voice and make sure that we elect people who are not going to oppress them. There's been elections across the country that have been won by one vote, you know, and when I ran in 2016, I lost by 600 votes in a city that has 76,000 people.
We're trying to encourage everyone to get out of that I am not political mindset and I'm not into politics, because at the end of the day, politics have to do with humanity and have to do with humans. So we need to intervene. We need to put our foot in there. So everyone deserves a seat at the table who's actually going to represent all people. So.
And if you say like you're not into politics, well, politics are into you.
When it comes to canvassing, especially when you're Latino, it's a very interesting experience, because sometimes when people see you out in the streets and it's like the afternoon, they look at you somewhat suspicious. And that's why I try to do my best usually when I go canvassing to take someone with me, I guess, to look less intimidating. And that's not to say that like all brown people look suspicious, no, but at times that's how we're treated. Patient enough to wait, to continue to put the hard work in, but patient enough to wait till a time where people are more accepting to talk to you about these kind of things that are affecting their personal lives every day.
This is just a call to everyone. If you are a legal permanent resident, please become a citizen. If you do not feel confident with your English, please take English classes and become a citizen. We cannot afford for you to be a resident any longer. Become a citizen, because we're definitely going to need you to vote for yourself, your families, and your communities come 2020. So.
And I mean, there's no more safer status than being a citizen. You just don't know with this administration. People just aren't safe, you know, so I'm trying to convince family members of mine to become citizens, because I know that them being residents is not a safe environment in this administration. Being a citizen is probably the most safest they can be.
I don't think anything I can say would impact Donald Trump's thinking. I just think that he's too much of a narcissist to listen. I mean, he thinks he knows everything, and he wants racist people to show up to vote for him, and he's gonna fire them up by saying racist things. And even people that are conservative, that they hate the Democrats, you know, people that are just hateful, they're gonna show up to vote for him. You know, they only care about, a lot of people only care about guns and being pro-life, but there's more issues that affect us. There's new ways of solving a lot of these issues. I don't think as a society, I don't think we'll ever agree on everything. And Donald Trump is really not helping, just dividing people more. I don't see him uniting people in any way, unfortunately. All we can do now is try to get him out of office, and that's why the elections in 2020 will be important. we get him out of office and we elect someone else that will listen. Okay, these are the numbers. Monday 2014, it was 1,087. Monday 2018, it's 2,091. Tuesday 2014, 1,237. Tuesday 2018, 3,022. Wednesday 2014, it was 1,216 in Washington County. Wednesday 2018, early voting, it's 2,763. So these are the difference right now so far through Wednesday. Back in 2014, up to this day, it would have been 3,540, and this year it's 8,766 that have turned out to vote in Washington County. So that's a 248% increase of people that are showing up to vote. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm kind of exhausted, you know. It's been quite a few months of organizing events, talking to people. People probably are getting tired of me going live on Facebook. I want Andrew Gillum to win in Florida. I want Beto O'Rourke to win in Texas. I want Stacey Abrams to win in Georgia. I want Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to win in New York. And there's a good chance. You know, people are flipping these seats. Back in 2016, when I ran, I increased the voter turnout with my team for a Democratic candidate in my district by about 23%. So that was a huge victory in its own, but it could have been bigger. Now I see people, now it's like the post anger, you know, now it's like, Donald Trump won, he's in office, and he's been saying a lot of offensive stuff to people and to people of different ethnicities, races, and now they're mad. I want to make sure that the people that are angry are showing up to vote and vote out the people that are governor, that are attorney general, that support Donald Trump's agenda, Donald Trump's hateful agenda. What better way to start that change in a district like District 89 in Springdale that has some of the lowest voter turnout in the entire state and has the biggest undocumented population and the biggest immigrant population in the entire state. It's the perfect place to start this here in Springdale, in District 89.